Hey, I'm Stephanie Woods. Welcome back to my channel. Y'all have been asking for it. We are going to start our next deep dive, which is corsetry. So I thought we would start this little journey off with just going through my corset collection of corsets that I have made. I've worn a lot of corsets. I've worn a lot that I have made, a lot that I haven't made. The corsets that you're going to see today here are corsets that were either Halloween costumes or they were used in performance. So we'll kind of get into what each one was for. Am I going to model them all? No. Because these were all made pre-baby, Stephanie. The body was a little different then, okay? So yeah, we're just not gonna do that. But before we really head into this whole deep dive, so this is gonna be several video series, really talking about corsetry, talking about supplies, talking about techniques. I wanna be really clear, because people are passionate about their corsets, and I love it. I love that y'all are passionate about your corsetry, I do. So I just want to be super clear about what kind of party I'm inviting y'all to, okay? This is not specializing in historical corset sewing, okay? This is not, I'm going to reference historical stuff, I'm going to reference historical techniques, but that's not what I'm about here. We're talking like modern corsetry. If you want to make something cute to wear with a pair of jeans, or you want to make something to use as an undergarment, or something that is going to be like the innards of a gown or a fancy dress that you're going to make, and you really want that dress to lay nicely on your body, and you want to have a nice consistent shape underneath it. This is about modern folks sewing corsets in 2021, okay? If I invite you for a chicken dinner, don't spend the whole meal talking about like, oh my God, that turkey was so small. Know what you're invited for, okay? So let's keep the comment section polite, please. Most of the corsets you're gonna see today are underbust corsets. For me, they're just my favorite ones to wear, honestly. I have a little bit more mobility in them. They're more versatile, whether I want to wear them underneath a dress or something to help with shaping, or if I want to wear them for outerwear, wear them over top of like a peasant top or something like that. They're just more versatile, and a lot of what you're going to see today are things that were meant for performance. So there was like other costume pieces that they had to work with. And another thing that you're going to notice is a lot of them are laced with like a thick elastic cord. That's not necessarily something that I recommend always doing with your corsets. The reason that I have them laced with that is because for all the ones that were used for performance, especially, if you have elastic and you're like cinching up your corset, when you pull your elastic out and then let it go, that will cinch up your corset anyway, but I just find it's a little bit faster with the elastic. It happens in like 2 pulls and your corset is cinched up. So if you're backstage and you're needing to do like a quick change, or you're dressing yourself before you come on stage, it's easier. And also, it just has that little bit of give where it gives you like a nice tight corset, but like if you're doing a dance move or something that maybe would be helpful if you had a little bit more mobility, it offers that as well. So it's not that I necessarily say that you should tie a corset with elastic, it's just in those particular cases, that's what was the best option. All right, first up, this was a Halloween costume. This was Mother Nature. And you can see this is the elastic cording that I'm talking about. I was Mother Nature for Halloween. I had like leaves growing out of my head and kind of a fairy-ish skirt, and I just did this all with scrap fabric. But I mean, this wasn't made for being worn over and over again, because it was just a Halloween costume. So yeah, this is corset number 1. Next, we have this corset. This was a burlesque costume. And so I had this really pretty fabric with this stitching on it. So I have a couple panels where I have white fabric behind it, but then I have another couple of panels where I just have the see-through fabric on. And this is a doable thing. Obviously, you can't have waist tape in the middle. at least for those sections. There's no waist tape in this anyways, because it wasn't something that was meant to be worn for hours and hours. Which, if you don't know, waist tape is actually like a line of fabric tape that runs down the center to just give you a little extra stability in your corset and extra strength. But the key to putting these see-through panels in is really making sure that you're kind of picking the right panel that you're making see-through. If it's a panel that's responsible for like adding a little bit more shape to you and it's going to be put under a little bit more stress, then that's not the panel that you want to put that in. But you do want to have a lot of strength at the top and bottom of that panel. And that's going to help make this work without kind of having it bust out. This corset, I mean, even though it wasn't made for being worn for extended periods of time, because it was just made like to wear it for a dance and then it was done. I did wear it at a trade show when my husband and I had a small jewelry company, and I wore it for 3 days straight for 12 hours a day, and it held up pretty darn nice, I think. Maybe I'll do all the underbusts first, and then we'll move into the other ones. Okay, this one has a zip front, and I don't know what happened to it. It's got a big old stain on the front. Ugh. This one I directed a play, we'll just say a long time ago, called Chemo Burlesque. It was a Calgary Fringe Festival play, and it was about a woman who had really aggressive breast cancer, and so through her treatment she had sort of this imaginary friend who was a burlesque performer, and as she was sort of becoming dissociated from her body, as all of these things were happening to her body, her imaginary friend kind of like became a bigger thing for her. And then in the end, sadly, she loses her battle with breast cancer and does a burlesque dance at the end where she gets to reclaim her hair, reclaim her breasts. And so this was the corset that she wears at the end of the show. And I have no idea where those stains came from at the front. I don't know. You know what? Things happen backstage, and it was in storage for so long that it's possible whatever is on here has been on here for years, and then it turned brown over time. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to try and get that out or just be done and put this corset in the garbage. I don't know. It was never made in my size. It's not like I can ever wear it. This one, I actually have this corset in 4 different sizes because it was for a group dance number, and it has a super fun snap front, which I love. It's in a really dark denim, and I really like it. And I've worn this several times, like just with jeans and a peasant top or with a skirt, and I love it. I love the button closure at the front. If you get, I think these are line 20 snaps, they're strong and they will absolutely hold a corset on you. You don't have to have the metal busk. You can be a little bit more creative with your closures on your corset. So yeah, I've done zippers, I've done lacing, I've done snaps. Try them all, why not? This corset is a zip-up corset. This was actually created as an art piece, and it went around a book. It was a photo album originally, and it kind of like opened like double doors on the front. And years ago I did an acting intensive with One Yellow Rabbit Theater, and so you had to supply with your application some kind of art piece or something to just show kind of like artistically where you were at. And so I built this corset to go around the book, and there's actually like, there's Velcro on the inside because it Velcroed to the book. But since then, it's been worn by real people. And I put so much work into this thing. The beading alone, I don't even know how many hours that was, but I just absolutely love it. I think it's stunning. Part of the art project that I put this on was about like reusing things. So like some of the beads were from old jewelry. All the fabric was like leftover scrap fabric, and actually even the bones. This is gonna sound so weird. My husband has a friend who works at Auto Value, and people come in all the time and they like get new windshield wipers. And so every time somebody left their old windshield wipers behind, he would strip out the metal, throw the rest in the garbage, and then keep the metal strips aside so that they could be recycled. And so he gave me a whole stack of these like metal strips from the inside of windshield wipers, and they're great because they're rigid, right? They're meant to hold your windshield wiper like tight to your window. And so all the bones in here are actually ganged up. I think there's 3 or 4 of them in each bone, and then I use some wire to kind of like weave them together. And so yeah, there's like reusing old materials, there's everything in this corset, but I love it. To this day, it's one of my favorite corsets of all time. Okay, this one is actually a set of stays, and I made this for a friend's birthday. She loves throwing theme parties, and so she had a theme party one year for her birthday. It was her 30th birthday, so she sent out a list of her top 30 favorite movies, and you had to dress like somebody from the movie. And I can't believe I don't have a picture of me in it, but one of her favorite movies was Quills, and so I went as the washerwoman from Quills. Okay, my last one. This one was for a Halloween costume. It is a bus corset with a lace-up closure in the back, and I went for Halloween as a ringmaster, like from a circus. The pattern was like, it's a simplicity pattern. I'll see if it's still around because this was literal, like it was ages ago. But if it's still a pattern that can be used, I will put it here. It came with a coat, a long coat, as well as a skirt, but I didn't make the skirt, I just wore pants. So that was my whole outfit. And then I made the inside of the hat, like I didn't actually make the structure of the hat. I feel like the place I got, it's a buckram base, and I think it came from California Millinery Supplies. Like again, this was so long ago, I'm not 100% sure. But I love all this fun stuff. That was weird. Well, that is my corset collection. I hope there was some fun things for you to see there. I am really excited to get into this whole deep dive that y'all have been asking for. I'm excited to do it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So I'll see you next week for some more corseting fun.